Hey everyone, it's Andy from the Secure and Defend side of things, and I want to talk to you all a little bit about a concept we've been kicking around called the risk-based merge request widget, not trademarked. Marcel said is a long name. But first, I want to tell you a short story. So let's imagine you work for a company as a developer. Now, this company is highly regarded as an industry leader on multiple fronts, and you consider working for them an amazing opportunity. As a developer, you're constantly meeting goals and you rise above the day-to-day requirements and are generally regarded as a rock star. Then one day it happens. You hear the news first in an internal email, followed by multiple press outlets covering the story. Your company has been hacked. Someone has obtained all of your user data. This isn't great. So then you start wondering to yourself, like, how could this happen? Right? You're doing this like Inception style retro in your brain, and then it gets worse. You realize that the last significant change to the site was your change. You rush to your machine, you check out your MR, you're looking back at it, and you're like, well, I see some vulnerabilities, but I don't know if they were mine, or I don't know if they were someone else's, and if the organization didn't really have a policy in place to like remediate those anyways, and kind of just like left confused as to like, well, who's really to blame and what is there really to do about this? And so this is where I want to start talking a little bit about the concept of shifting left. And you may have heard this before. Really, traditional security testing happens post-deployment. In the application where the security professional is going to be testing kind of what's live and what's there. It's pretty reactive. And GitLab in general is in a very unique situation where we can be a little more proactive. And we already do this today by bringing in our testing to the build stage. So here we can also allow the developers to resolve new vulnerabilities or vulnerabilities they've introduced, but there really isn't a lot of like meat on those bones, right? There's not a lot of good signal. There's not a lot of interesting like ways in which we're communicating how to resolve vulnerabilities or what needs to be resolved. So if we take a look at the job to be done, say, when committing changes to my project, I want to be made aware if I'm adding risk through vulnerable code, so that I know my changes can be merged without increasing the risk of my project. Right? So the problem we're facing is, how might we communicate to the user that a merge request is safe to merge or unsafe and action is required? Our goal here is to tell the risk-based story of a merge request by answering, can users confidently merge without adding unnecessary risk? And if users are blocked from merging, what do they need to do to unblock it? So our approach here is to synthesize and simplify information into insights and actions, and treat the experience as a proxy for security analysts performing a manual code review. Right? I also want to reinforce the good while highlighting the bad. So let's take a look at our solution. So today, this is like the merge request widget that we have for Secure. We kind of give you information, but if I was a developer and I saw 114 vulnerabilities, I'd be like, nope, that's a lot. And you're not really sure like what the organization's even asking you to do or what's required of you, right? So on top of that, we have kind of like mixed messaging. So 114 vulnerabilities for source branch, but then see a bunch of signals that say like there's new vulnerabilities, right? So I don't know if they're mine or if they're like new in source. Like I'm just like doing mental gymnastics and already don't want to do that. So what we want to propose is drastically simplifying this experience into something as simple as just kind of like one defined area where we signal to the user like, hey, you need to look at this, right? So we give you an icon, and by also saying like your security scans have completed. Right? So a lot of organizations have processes and controls that saying like the scans must happen, the jobs must pass. Passing doesn't mean like it didn't find a vulnerability, but it means they didn't encounter an error. The scans didn't pass, well, it's not giving us accurate results, so we can't really trust what we're seeing. We want those to happen. We want those to succeed. But then also you see the security gate, right? It's failed. We already know like I need to stop here. It can't keep going down. Like this needs to be addressed, as well as the merge risk. If I merge this now, it's not going to be good. Bad things may happen. You're adding risk into your project. But furthermore, we can start answering why, right? So why did it fail? without diving in or doing some expand collapse, we can just say, these are the parameters in which security gates pass, and one of them was not met, results below the risk threshold. You have introduced vulnerabilities that are of a severity level higher than what's deemed acceptable by the organization. Then you can start asking, well, what? So you can do a quick hover on see, well, in the last experience we saw 114 vulnerabilities, but here we see, oh, there's 3 critical, 4 high, and 3 unknown. Okay, that's not as bad. And it kind of gives the user a little bit of like, what am I gonna get into when I click view results? And if they do that, they'll be taken to the security tab, which is still available. You'll see this number here, which correlates to the required actions that are necessary to get this security gate to pass. And this is where that idea of security analyst as proxy, right? So imagine in this risk summary area, the security analyst is saying like, hey, by the way, security gate failed. This is the risk right now, but we just need you to do 12 things. 12 is way better than 114. And really, that's kind of how security kind of works. It's not a volume business, it's a criticality business. Like if 114 vulnerabilities are like low in info, merge all day, because there's never, keeping up is just too hard, right? And another interesting thing we can do is say, if a scan needs to be rerun or a job, then we should flag that here as well. And as whomever is working through this list continues resolving, we continue communicating that. And then once it's all resolved, we reinforce that good. You did a good job, your security gate is passed, your current risk is acceptable, is deemed by the organization, you've done 12 of 12 things, awesome. And if you move back into the overview, we give you that reinforcement, right? Now our iconography is a check, green, and we tell you the security gate passed again, the merge risk is acceptable, and you can keep going. Like you got code reviews and you've got things to, comments to deal with. Like your main priority isn't security, but security should be a priority. And now our story about risk is a story about confidence. So our next steps here would be to implementing a low risk flow where we have some foundational changes built up. We're thinking about the security tab and thinking about some changes to that widget area. And then as while we're doing that, we'll take this risk-based MR widget through solution validation and try to button it up a little bit more. And that's all I have.